back at it on the 32 Ford work. The plan for today is get the doors and the deck lid off of it, start working out the door jambs, do some body work and filler work on the hood, and start doing 400 wet sand on the body. Let's get started. Okay, the purpose of this, getting the doors and the deck lid off of it, is to get this stuff prepped here. I'm going to go over that with 320 immediately, smooth it out. Door jambs also, get those ready to spray some primer on. The hood, as I noted before, is quite rough. I've got the first pass of Bondo or filler on it, but we still have to do these edges here, so I'm going to sand this down with 320, and then I'm going to come back and coat those edges again and sand it again. So let's get started. All right, we're a couple hours into the thing today. As you can see here, this is all sanded with 320. The low spots and the dimples and the filler that I had before, I've got those puttied in, waiting for that to dry. On the body, as you can see, I've got the deck lid and the doors off. The jambs are all finished out and sanded back here and over here as well. I'm going to tape these pieces off here, and I'm about to start doing 400 wet on the body, on the doors, and on the deck lid. So we're getting a lot closer. The plan is to see if I can get it to 400 and shoot another coat of primer on it today. And while that's curing, the next time down I'll sand it with 600, and fingers crossed we may be ready. As soon as the hood is dry, I'm going to primer it with the rest of this stuff, and I'll have to go with 400 on it. Of course, my grill shell and my headlights are over there. They're ready for 400 as well. I'll do that while I'm doing these. But we're about ready to go on with 400 wet sanding. Okay, hours of wet sanding later, we've got the stuff outside. All of this is at 400. Got the stuff outside, and I'm about to hose it off, wash it off, get it clean, bring it back in. We're going to shoot some more primer, and that will be it for today. Got the headlights done there, the body is done there. Interesting tidbit, take the doors and the deck lid off this car, it's a lot easier to move around. So go figure there. The hood is a little bit behind the other stuff because it required a lot of work, but we're at the stage now where I'm going to load it up with high build and come back with 325 and start filling the any pits or pinholes just like we did on the body. But I've got it evened out. We'll take a look at it after I get some primer on it and see how it looks. We're getting there. Okay, back in the shop. Got everything dried off. This body is looking so much better than what it did when we started with it. And it wasn't that bad when we started with it, but it has come a long way. I'm about to spray primer. Hopefully everything but the hood. This will be the last time I have to spray primer on it, because it is slicked up very, very nicely. And with any luck, it may be ready to go 600 and then paint next. But they are really, really slicked up. I've got it positioned now where I can paint the jambs on them as well. Of course, the hood, I'm just going to load it up real good again and hopefully start blocking it. I have a feeling I'm probably going to find some more pinholes that I need to fill and go through the process we did with the body. But we are about to start spraying some primer. Once I get this into the primer, that'll do it for this trip. Well, noxious chemicals later, this hood is looking fabulous. I've got some pinholes to fill. That is nothing. That's simply a matter of brushing it with 320, filling them, let it dry, sand the whole thing with 320. Then I can come back and prime it, wet sand it with 400, prime it, wet sand it with 600, and this one will be ready. As for the other pieces, the grill shell looks really nice. It's ready for 600. Absolutely ready for 600. The body, I've spotted a few small areas on it, but you know what? I've mentioned this before. My father has told me in the past that at some point you just have to say it's good enough, and this thing is so much better than it was. I think I'm going to hit it with 600 and we're going to go red on the body. It looks great. The jambs are primed. Thing is really shaping up. I'm happy with it. As for the doors and the deck lid, same story. The jambs are primed. I've got heavy prime. I've got a few little imperfections along the corner of it, but I really loaded it up with a high build. I'm just going to go back with 600, and I think I'm going to run with it. Same goes with the deck lid. The headlights are over there. They're done. This door, same story. A few little imperfections that I'm not going to get in too big of a twist about, because we're just going to simply run with it. I think everything but the hood is ready for 600 grit, and at that point they will be ready to paint. The hood, I'm going to have to hit it with the 320 and the putty to get it filled. But as you can see, the ridges that were on the front and the back of it are completely gone. It is really shaping up. Well, that's going to do it for this trip down. I'm gonna do some cleanup stuff and things like that, so I'm not going to bore you with that. But at that point, the next thing we will be doing, nice loud truck, huh? At that point, the next thing we will be doing is, I'm not sure I'm going to get any work at all done next week, because my lovely wife and I have been married 10 years as of next weekend, so we're going to take a trip out of town, and so I may not have a video next weekend, but stay tuned. We've got more updates on the Cobra and more updates, of course, on the 32 as well. This 32 is getting very close to paint. Very excited. Thanks you for joining us. Please hit subscribe. As of this shooting, we're very close to 300 subscribers. I think about 2 or 3 away, so please hit that subscribe button. Help us reach some benchmarks. We'll see you next time.